I have been going crazy. No, like actually. I'm so unemployed, it's crazy. Like I just research worldly things and it's driving me crazy because Israel and the neocons and the liberals, they're all just so corrupt and it's so evident. But I've had a lot of time to grow in my faith. Yet I still fall short. Why do I fall short? Am I weak? Yes, absolutely I'm weak. I'm always going to be weak. We were told that we're always going to fall short. We'll never actually live up to God's true glory, his true image of us. But does that mean that I can just accept that and just be okay with falling short every single time? Because I've been so strong in my faith, and I'll be so strong in my faith for months, for weeks, and I'll feel so inclined. And the next thing you know, just like that, temptation, emotion takes over, and I lose it all. Why? Why? Am I that weak of a person? Yes, I am. I would use a different word, but I'm talking about God, so I'm not going to use the B word, but I'm a weak person. I'm so weak. But that's the beauty of when Jesus Christ came down. He died for our sins. He gave us a second chance. So I guess I'll get out of my bed and get back to it. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. It was really hard to get this camera angle, by the way, so I hope it's good. And I hope my camera's even on. If it's not, I'm probably going to rage quit and just never post on YouTube ever again. So, yep, let's go. Woo!
Was created by C.I. Scofield in 1909, before he was a Bible. Only truth is God and God himself. You must read the Bible to actually learn. Things are bad right now and things suck, but Jesus always comes out on top.
Boom! Jesus always comes out on top. So right now is the time of the day when this is like the easiest part of the day for me. Or like not the easiest, but the best part of the day. From waking up before 8, which I've gotten to like where I can wake up around 7, and it's like pretty easy now. From 7 to 11, 11:30 is the easy part of the day. So I'll do a couple things. I'll either work on a video, I'll do research, or I'll do homework. My intention was to do homework today, however, I got sucked into making a short, which I don't do enough of, so I'm doing that right now. After 11:30, it hits me, it's like, oh, it's lunch. And then it's like, do I want to go to the gym now? No, I don't, because I like the feeling of going to the gym at like 6 p.m. when my day is complete. That way, when I get done with the gym and the sauna, I can go home and hit the hay and just feel like really satisfied. So I don't like to go now, but at the same time, I think I do want to go now because like I want to feel productive, and maybe that can like jumpstart my brain into like thinking properly and be able to do stuff. But then at the same time, it's like from 11 to 5, it's like, do I want to do homework? No, there's so much time to do homework. I can just do it tomorrow, and then I don't do it tomorrow, and then I can edit a video. I have so many edit videos I can edit, but I don't do them all, and it's just like quantum mechanics in my understanding as of now. So here we have a bunch of red dots that are simplifying a brick wall, and then here we have a bunch of blue dots that are simplifying water. So although we look at this wall and I hit it, or this whiteboard and I hit it, and it seems pretty solid, it's not actually fully solid. It's a bunch of tiny particles all held together by electromagnetic forces. So technically, this wall is not actually solid if you really think about it. Although yes, it is solid in the terms of science and what we see as solid, it's not actually solid. It's trillions and trillions and trillions of little tiny particles all combining in a dense form to make a wall. Just like this, a bunch of very tightly packed particles creating a wall. And then you have water come along. The particles in water are a little bit more loosely separated. That's why it's able to flow and move the way it is. That's why it's able to, eventually, if you put water on top of a roof for long enough, it'll start to move through those solids. I throw this group of water against this brick wall constantly, right? Eventually, I'm gonna have a couple water particles start to get into the wall, just a little bit. And after hundreds or thousands of years, right, there's a thing called erosion. And what erosion is these water particles continue to embed themselves in this brick wall, and next thing you know, there's too much water in here that it starts to loosen up all of these brick particles, whatever you want to call them. Okay, I'm not a scientist. And then eventually that erodes away, and then it gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and eventually this brick wall's not there anymore, so it's just water everywhere. I think I'm not a scientist, but like I said, I have plenty of time to like understand things, or not understand things, but look into things. And quantum mechanics, I think that's what it's called, is kind of interesting to me. So yeah. Anyways, I should probably do my English homework now. On days like today, when I don't really have too much in the fridge, it's just sometimes easier just to make some good old ramen, which I forgot about because before the Marine Corps, I used to eat ramen all the time, because when you're not super rich and you need something to eat that's cheap and quick and easy, ramen's always there. I think for the rest of my life, no matter how rich I ever get, I'm always going to eat ramen. It's just, I was gonna take a bite for the video, but it's really fucking hot. This is like the last like easygoing thing I'll have until like 6 p.m. when I go to the gym. So here we go, lock it.
I wonder why you two are over here. Probably because you guys want a cookie. No, don't even try.
Isn't it weird that Harry S. Truman, the president that dropped the nuclear bomb on Nagasaki, was a Freemason and he got promoted to the 33rd degree of Freemasonry 10 weeks after the nuclear bomb was exploded, and the Nagasaki just happened to be the hotbed of Christianity and Catholicism in Japan, plus the bomb was dropped directly over the biggest church, St. Mary's, in Nagasaki at the time. Isn't that a little bit weird?
I can see why that might come across as an interesting or eerie coincidence to you. It's one of those
Proper shooting stance.
Get in there. I mean, it's just not optimal at all. I'd almost rather use a sword or a spear or a bow and arrow. I can reload a bow and arrow even quicker. Like,
now I'm in the portion of the day that is usually kind of like slowing things down. This is when my brain really starts to work for some reason, is around 4 to 5 to 6 p.m. It's usually when I get ideas that I'm like, okay, I don't have enough time to do them today, but I have all of tomorrow to do them. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot about my English homework that I still haven't done, so I need to do that. And then I lose motivation for the one ideas, so then I end up not doing them, and then I end up pushing off to another day, and then tomorrow, Friday will be the same thing around 4, 5, 6 p.m. I'm like, oh wait, this is a great idea. I just don't have enough time to do it today, so I need to do it tomorrow, and then I don't end up doing it. Leaving the Marine Corps, I was the most cocky dude ever. I was like, for sure I'm gonna succeed at everything I do in life. Like, I'm gonna figure out the YouTube thing. I have the algorithm figured out. It's easy from here on out. It's gonna be light work. I thought I was gonna be farming with my family. I thought school would be relatively easy. I thought I'd be collecting a stable paycheck from school every single month. I thought my VA stuff would be in by now. I thought I'd be making, you know, roughly 300 to 500 bucks a month from YouTube, have another merch drop by now. Figured I'd be making good money off of, you know, whatever job I get, whether that's in the farm or somewhere else. Thought I'd be building up my savings account to over $10,000 by now. None of that's happened. None of it has. None. Not a single one of those things has happened. School has been not like hard. It's just like, I think the hardest part about school for me is like getting the motivation to do it. I've never been a fan of school. It's relatively easy for me. It's just like, I just hate having to go online and do school. And I'm pretty much only doing it for the paycheck that I get from the GI Bill right now. And I hate that I'm doing that, but that's like the only reason I'm doing it right now. I need to switch my mindset. I'm like stubborn in a sense when it comes to like doing what I want to do. I thought I'd be making money from YouTube. I haven't been monetized in, my last like 6 videos haven't been monetized, so that's on me though. I like to use whatever songs I like to use. Okay, that's on me. I didn't end up working on the farm. That was me. I decided that. My mind changed. VA stuff still in the process, still nothing. Had an eye appointment yesterday. They said that the black dots in my left eye are not any, there's no retina damage, which doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Maybe it's something else. Haven't had a consistent paycheck coming in other than my GI Bill, which I've gotten like once, a full amount. And yeah, making a whole lot of excuses and sound like a sad boy right now, but it's because like sometimes that's the way I think, guys. Sometimes I get into those mindsets, and sometimes I too, even me, who I mean, I would imagine that on camera I seem probably pretty like put together and pretty, you know, straightforward and like, oh, he's got it all figured out. No, I don't. I don't have a lot of things figured out. I'm pretty far off from figured out right now. There's a lot of you watching this. A majority of you watching this are much more figured out than I am right now. I am all over the place. And me talking about it right now kind of makes me feel a little bit sad, but I am of the mindset that no matter what I go through, it is my fault. I will take accountability for all of my own things. Nothing else is anybody else's fault. Even if it is, I take accountability for my decisions, my mistakes, the situations I'm in, and all I do is ask God to structure my life. Whatever God puts on my heart for me to do, I'm going to do. If that means I don't work on the farm, that's what it means. I don't want to work on the farm, I'm not going to. If that means I'm just going to do school for the paycheck, that's what I'm going to do. If that means I'm going to make videos that I love to make and maybe not make any money of them, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm just going to follow God's plan, and I know God's talking to me with everything I do. I know God is guiding me in everything I do. Does that mean it's going to be the best thing that turns out every single time? Maybe not in the fleshly sense, but I know that if I just follow God's ways, that one day, it'll either pay off or I'll end up in heaven, and either of those are a win for me. So yeah. If you guys think you have a plan, get out of the military. You don't. Trust me. I thought I did. Not the case. And TRS does not help. I tried. I really did try to listen to that too. Forgot my camera. Shit. Ugh. I'm just writing down random things to make it seem like I'm busy. Now, Isaac, why would you do this? What's going on, man? Are you good? I'm doing this because a lot of what is online is not actual reality. I do a lot of things in my videos to make it seem like I'm more official, to make it seem like I have myself more put together, to make it seem like I'm busy. That way the video is more entertaining. The media, politicians, even pastors do the same thing online. A lot of us are very similar. I would argue that we're a lot more alike than what you think we are. Fun thought. Just let marinate on that one, okay? Oh my gosh. So in 1917, a thing called the Bolshevik Revolution happened, which is where the Communist Party of Russia came into power. They overthrew the government of Russia which was largely orthodox. During the revolutionary period between 1917 and 1923, they killed tens of thousands of Christians, and then from some estimates, tens of millions of Christians died from famine and hunger and other related causes, the gulags, executions. Throughout that period, one of the first things that the Communist Party of Russia instilled after the Bolshevik Revolution was a anti-Semitism act. It was basically if you were to be anti-Semitic, it would be considered an act against the state, even though they were killing thousands and millions of Christians at the time. But no one ever talks about that. I don't know why. Why don't we talk about the Christians that get killed in history that much? Maybe we did, I don't know, but we never really get talked about that. I think you guys should look into it. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. We'll come into the mirror because it's a staple. It's been a while, right? It's been a while since we've done that. This mirror's a little dirty, don't mind me. I brush my teeth hard, okay? Anyways, this note right here, I wrote this while I was in boot camp. Don't know which week it was, but I write them down on my little Right in the Rain gear and send it home to my mom. This one reads, writing this in church, I threw some seashells and rocks in the envelope from some of the PT areas. Some of those I grabbed while doing spider push-ups during McMap. I was thinking about you all while going through the sand on my hands. Ha ha. Love you! Exclamation point. Trip down memory lane. All my old Marine Corps people still watch me that want me to make Marine Corps videos still, even though I'm not in the Marine Corps anymore. There you go. You get your taste of it. Anyways, it's time for the gym. Believe it or not, I'm flawed. I'm very flawed, especially in my faith and in my religion. As a Christian, I'm incredibly flawed. I've always considered myself a Christian. I didn't start going to church until 4 years ago before the Marine Corps, and I considered myself a believer then. I've always considered myself a believer, but until recently, I realized I consider myself a believer, but I never actually was a believer because I believed, but I never felt the consequence or I did at times. I felt bad for sinning and stuff like that, but I never felt the desire to practice my religion to a higher extent. And even where I'm at now, I know that I'm going to grow from even where I'm at now because I'm still so far from perfect. Just about 2 months ago, I always had this mindset and this idea that science was the enemy of religion. And I talked to one of my buddies, one of my good friends, Jih, you know who you are, had a really good conversation with him about, the Big Bang. And I was talking about science, these things that, are unproven. They're put out there to just lead us away from God and to confuse us. And he's like, no, stop. You're thinking of it wrong. He's like, change your angle, change your perception. He's like, science is not an enemy of religion, but a tool for religion. It is a way of understanding, because if you look at the science, right, and you look at things like the Big Bang Theory, right, which is one of the most fascinating scientific things you can look at, the creation of everything. And the Big Bang is one of the most scientifically supported theories that there is out there. There's more evidence for the Big Bang than almost anything there is scientifically. There's so much evidence for the Big Bang. It's crazy. To deny the Big Bang would be, to really challenge a very legitimate source of evidence, right? An explosion that seemingly came from nothing that created all these things. The Big Bang was a creation, and every creation needs a creator. What caused the Big Bang? What created our universe? And there's literally no way to possibly describe anything creating the Big Bang other than God. Every creation needs a creator. the car that you see on the street, a bunch of like random metal pieces didn't just form up and form that car. It took a creator. It took someone with intuition. It took a creator to find the right pieces of metal and the right parts to put that car together, to put it there on the side of the street. It took a creator. Our universe is so perfectly formed. Our earth, everything that we have is so perfectly formed. There are around 122 constants that we as humans need to sustain life on earth. All 122 of these things have to be just right. The odds of all 122 of these things being just right in terms of the universe as we know it would be 10 to the 138th power, which is just insane. That's like, 138 zeros behind one, the odds. 1 in 138 zeros. Crazy, right? I know. I just can't like word it very well. I heard it earlier. I'm very rough with my wording and stuff like this, guys. But science is not an enemy of religion. And I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna be like, well, no duh, Isaac. Hey, I didn't realize this until recently. And ever since I've realized this, science is fascinating me more and more. It just supports more and more of what we read in the Bible. I mean, to be honest, if you look at it, the most accurate depiction of how the universe and how the earth could have been formed was given in the Bible. When God talked of the 7 days of the earth being formed, it's unbelievable. It's one of the more accurate and logical explanations of the formation of the universe and earth there is. And guess where it's from? It's from the Bible. But yeah, I guess that really changed my perception. It's like science is not an enemy of religion. It is a tool for religion. Yeah, I didn't really say everything I wanted to say. My mind's kind of dry. Been a long day. Been talking a lot and doing a lot of different things. But I'm just grateful for life, you know? I'm just grateful to have this opportunity to see these kind of things and to question things. And I'm grateful that God has structured my life and thoughts in a way that, you know, I am led to him. I am led to wanting to understand him, but also practice my faith and practice my discipline towards him. And I still fall short, as I talked about earlier. But maybe that's, as much as I want to speak from perfection, I can't. I can only speak from imperfection. But maybe that's what the whole point is. It's for us to realize that we are not perfect, that we are not God, yet we must still believe and practice our faith accordingly, even when we're not perfect. So, yeah, God bless y'all. See you in the next one. Adios.